Hello everyone, it is Leah from Dime Culture, and today we are going to be making a DIY colored brush pen. As mentioned in my previous video from last week for How to Survive Inktober, I promised all of you that I would be making one, so let's get right into it. Alright, so number one supply that you're going to need is a water brush. Number two, your ink. That's how easy this DIY is. All you need are two things, and one of them you may already have is the water brush. If you don't have a water brush, that's cool. I'll leave a link to the one that I currently own. Now, onto the ink. So personally, I'm using this PH Martin one. I really like the color teal. Now, the ink itself, however, does have residue, so that's why you could see me, rolling it. There we go, Leah. Use your English words. You saw me rolling it because I wanted to mix up the pigment and make sure that there was nothing at the bottom of the bottle. All right, so in the process of putting this together, first I want to say do this on a surface that is easily cleanable, and that is why I have a palette out. Next is clean your water brush when you open your package if you're going with a brand new one. There are some residues from the manufacturer left on the bristles, and we want to just wash that off. And before you start putting your ink in it, dry it out. And I'll get to the reason why in a moment because I'll show you why. Anyways, here with the PH Martin ink, the one I have has a dropper lid, so putting the ink inside is very easy for me. If your ink doesn't come with a dropper bottle, you have a couple of options. You could actually buy a dropper, which is fairly inexpensive. I'm sure you could find one even at the drugstore. But another option is, if you don't want to go spend any extra money, is to use some stiff paper or any paper that you have around the house that won't leak and make a funnel so that you can pour it in. Now, when you are putting the ink in, I would suggest not filling it to the rim. Before you put your lid on, what I want you to do is wipe off any excess ink that may have gone on the tightening barrel or on the outside. This way, when you put the top half of your water brush back on, you're not actually leaving any spacing or gapping so that there's any leakage. And when you tighten it, don't tighten it as tight as it can go, but don't try overdoing it where you may crack it or keep it loose. The key is keeping it watertight. Now, most of these water brushes, if you're getting a good one, won't have any leakage problem. I am going to point out that I did try to do this for a second time with a different brand, Arteza. I know that there's a lot of videos out there praising them, but the one that I purchased leaked water. So I just wanted to put that little one out there. But yeah, the one I'm using, I have a link to it in the bottom. Now, what I'm showing you here is how it's a little blotchy when I first started using it. And that reason was because I didn't get as much as the water out as I thought, because when you compare it to the black one, and I understand that the colors are different and the brand ink is different, but the black has no blotchiness whatsoever, where fresh out of the bottle, first time kind of using it, it was a little inconsistent for color range. And that is, as I mentioned previously in the video, is that you want to get as much water out as possible. So you may want to even just let your brush dry for overnight or during the day before you go in and fill it with your ink. Where unlike me, I got super excited because I got my water brush in and I was like, let's do this. Anyways, yeah. That's what happened to me, and now I'm just helping you out and advising you to make sure yours is dry. At this point, I'm going to show you the brush in action and discuss why I like it so much. But before I get really into showing you the brush in action, let's kind of discuss the brush itself first. After using it for quite some time, I'm now recording this video so you can see what the brush looks like now. I originally recorded the first half of the video a month ago, and it's been a month since with me playing with it. The ink doesn't sit at the bottom and have any residue issues. You will notice that there are a couple of spots, like the one I'm pointing out right now, where even on my Pentel, the black ink color brush, that it's sitting there in that kind of barrel area where water collects. That ink sitting there, even though I'm using a pigmented ink, so something that could have a residue in it, it doesn't clog it up, which I am such a fan of. So there's no clogging, and the only thing that you can see really that's kind of worrisome technically is the fact that there is some ink in the cap barrel area. And I think it's not that the water brush leaks. It is because I am using this thing in my pencil case and it's getting squished and tossed around. So there are chances that I might sit on my backpack without thinking and, things like that. So it is getting squeezed a little, but if you're just going to use it in a loose pencil case or have it lying around, or even if you are using it the same way I am, where you're putting it in your pencil case or putting it in a purse or anything like that, this bottle cap, it's very impressive for how tight, and it doesn't let anything out basically. So yay for Pentel, yay, I love this water brush, just yay all around. What I really love about this DIY is just how customizable it is and how it's so flexible for our individual artist styles, because I have this ink and I love the color, but it's not really portable. It's in that bottle, it's glass. I'm not going to take it with me to school because, what am I going to do? Am I going to use a brush? Am I going to use a calligraphy pen? Things like that. So this using a water brush really does make it so handy, and it makes it so versatile, especially because the water brush itself, being that type of material, being a brush, it's pointed at the end because it's a round barrel, and then it goes and it widens out, which means you can cover a large area of space. If you are like me and you like to use different mediums at the same time, ink, watercolors, acrylic type things, this is really handy for that. I want to have a disclaimer here because just yesterday, before sitting down to record this voiceover, I went to go do this again with a new ink I just bought, one that I'm currently still testing out. It's the Amsterdam Acrylic Ink. I wanted to put the ink in a second bottle, like water brush like this one here. The problem is the ink wouldn't come out of the brush pen. So if you are using acrylic inks, be wary at first. If you are using it, my only advice is before you get too excited and put a lot of ink in the bottle, test it out with a little bit amount and see if the ink comes out. And then if it doesn't come out, really do a thorough job at cleaning it out to make sure that there is nothing there clogging it, so that you can still use your water brush in the future with a different type of ink. Alrighty guys, we are reaching the end of the video. I'm really hoping that you enjoyed this video and it's inspired you to go out and personalize the materials that you're using to create your art. Maybe even has inspired you to perhaps try Inktober this October if you are watching it currently in September right now in present day and time. Anyways, the video's honestly about to end, and I want to say before it does, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have any of your own insider tips for DIYs, let me know in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to watching any of my videos and you enjoyed it, definitely hit that subscribe button and get some weekly magical creative touches to your week by hitting that little bell icon so that it lets you know when a new video is up. And alright, before the video cuts out, I'm just gonna say it. Until next time, stay magical.